Okay, 6 o'clock. Gonna bring the meeting to order. Zach is running 10 minutes late tonight, so we're gonna start without him. Gonna review and approve the minutes for our last meeting, December 20th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of December 20th in 2023.
Okay, I second that motion. Was there any discussion, changes on any of those minutes? I think everything was good.
I do believe so, yeah, it looked fine
Okay,
with me.
all in favor of the minutes for December 20th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Adjustments to the agenda for tonight. Is there any adjustments to the agenda?
I don't see anything needs to be adjusted, unless you did.
No, I'm good. Okay. Department updates. Highway. Did we have anything from Harold? I haven't heard anything. I didn't get any emails. I've been getting a bunch. Have you been getting a bunch of spam emails on your town stuff? Cause I've gotten a bunch of spam stuff. I haven't heard anything from Harold. I assume all is going well. I did get a phone call tonight, from, Jesse that does the grooming and was riding with Matt Tatro Vast today, and there's a washout, which I don't know that anybody knows. It just happened this last storm we had, and it's where you cross the road, it's by Bo Wilson's somewhere right there, the railroad beds. There's a 30-foot washout, and like it's all washed out. And the question was, did the town own it? Which I believe the town, that is the town part of it. And should it be, submitted, should it be submitted for FEMA for reimbursement for the washout to fix it? So that's all. And I literally just got the phone call.
Well, if it happened just the last rain, like a week ago, that's not FEMA.
Right, okay. So, and that's when it did happen, I guess. So I don't know who we need to, I don't know if,
And then we just let Harold know and he checks it out and.
see what's,
Fix it.
okay. So that's all I have for an
Highway.
update on that. Treasurer?
I have, in the folder, there's, a bunch of open POs that we do at the beginning of the year, you know, for the phone bill and heat and everything, so if you could all sign those. I've paid some bills that needed to be paid. Where'd the folder go?
It's right here.
Oh, okay. I thought I brought it down. You know, first of the year, so those are in the folder, and just working on end of year, end of quarter, and then we'll be right into town report. So just a reminder, if everybody can get their write-ups to me or Carrie, that would be most helpful, but that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Town clerk, Carrie?
I will start with Michelle Boyer has resigned. I gave you that email
Yeah.
for animal control officer. She would still be interested in doing a contract with the town to still take the dogs that needed to be impounded at her kennel. The email at the top was me just asking her what that would look like, so I could let you guys know. So that's where she wrote the money parts there. So that will be,
Okay,
so she's usually appointed.
so we'll have to have a new,
We'll have to look for someone willing to do it.
alright, I'm sure there'll be a lot of candidates.
It was really hard to find her.
Yeah.
I know. It's
So
not-
I think, whatever you think of her, this little thing about the animals, it still would be handy when one dog does get picked up or need to be impounded, to have somewhere to bring the dog.
Well, we really, in order to stay up with our whole thing with our
Yeah,
dog stuff,
So
we
we at
gotta
least
have,
have somewhere,
Right.
Mark could bring a dog.
We're
And we,
required to have an animal control officer, isn't that one of the ones that we
I
need to
think
have?
so.
yeah.
yeah, we'll have to figure out one.
Yeah.
So I think, I meant to look at the budget, I think we budget $500 for Michelle's stipend, so I think that could be used. Could drop some little contract following these, what she says here for, $50 a day. If she has a dog for 5 days,
Right,
so, and we used her once, twice last year. Of course, it's the person who comes and gets the dog who would pay it, so this would be on a dog that nobody picks up.
right,
And it would only be so many days, and then she would find a place for it, or it would be euthanized.
euthanize, okay. So I guess in the coming days, we're gonna have to discuss that and work on that.
Yeah, I can reach out to some other towns and see who they have, and if that person's willing.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I guess
that'd be
is
good.
Michelle doing it for other towns?
I don't know that she came, I think she did Topsom
Topsom,
I don't
maybe
know.
Orange, she's in Orange, right?
in
Or something.
Orange. Yeah, she's in Orange. But, could see who Rygate has, who,
Right,
people
that'd be
this
good,
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, okay.
That's what I had for that. So then I gave you a petition that came to the office.
Yep,
It was all done basically properly to count as a petition. It is an advisory petition, I would call it. The select board can put it as a warning. I gave you a copy of, just a draft, quick copy of the warning and what it would look like. On the other paper there to your left, I just wrote it as an article up above there, right there,
yeah,
of what it could look like. The wording, since on the petition, it's not really, wasn't really worded as a question, and I did reach out to the other town clerks on the MuniNet there, and they said you shouldn't really change the wording of the petition, it should really just be that's what the article is. But as you can see, I had to change it a little to make it be more of a question.
Yes, yep.
okay,
So they're requesting that the select board would allow ATV use on those following roads.
correct,
So then we would vote town meeting day. And then I believe it still would be up to you on whether, doesn't mean if it all votes yes that you have to change.
Okay,
It's an advisory,
okay.
because there's only certain things that voters have control of, and that's not it.
Yeah. Control the budget, but
Right.
not, yeah.
It's still up to you to decide.
right,
So that's the petition and that, so then we can move on to this draft of the town meeting warning. So it's the people who are up for election. I kinda just wrote the names of people on the ones that, and I'm confirming with the library for sure on theirs. Looked to me like 2 people. So it's all the standard ones that would be due. Article 2 to hear reports of the officers, which is really where anyone would correct anything that was wrong in the town report, misspelling or wrong.
correct,
Nothing really to be voted on that article, which does get confusing, but. Article 3 is the tax payments, that has to be in every year, an article, because the date
Okay.
changes every year, so you gotta vote it every year, or else they're due in 30 days from the time we send them out. So that one is the normal one. Next one is the ATV one. The next one, couldn't think of any other one, so it's the budget.
right,
And then to discuss any other business that doesn't include anything we've already acted on.
so,
Pretty quick.
looks good,
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't think
amazing
of anything
how
else.
short it
Yeah.
is.
You know,
That's
we're
even
not,
with us.
I know. Maybe something will come up, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know.
right, okay, good,
so I'll finalize that for the next meeting, because it'll
Alright.
have to be in town report,
approved,
and then it's official.
okay, thank you,
And I believe my other stuff will fall under other departments. So
Okay.
I am all done.
thanks, Sherry.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Craig.
You're welcome.
Assistant Assessor Dorothy?
Okay, so I have lots of new things in my area.
Okay.
I've got, the new printer, which is the old printer from upstairs, and that's great. I'm able to scan on that, so it saves me running upstairs. Gary got my computer hooked up this weekend, maybe like New Year's Day, and then also, I had asked about having a second monitor, so I can do two screens. And he left my old screen and then gave me the new screen, and so I've already used that a couple times, and that's great.
Okay.
The letters have been mailed for the 44 parcels that we're gonna do that reappraisal on, that word that I can't say. And I've already had, today they went out today, and I've already had 2 responses. I asked people to give me a phone number or an email address, so we can get in touch with them and say, okay, we're gonna come on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. So I've already had 2 responses, so I know that system's working. And then just tonight, I wasn't in during the day, but just tonight, I have the equalization study from the state, and I briefly looked at it. So our CLA is 77.43, and it should be below 85. And last year it was 91.6, and our COD is 28.65. It should be below 20. And last year it was 24.53, so if we do have a subject to reappraisal, there's a number 1 next to our name, and then also it says our reappraisal at 2019. So this is just real brief. I haven't had time like to study it, but we'll be getting our letter in the mail.
Okay.
But it's done and it's in, and it's what we knew.
Okay.
You know, we gotta do something for reappraisal.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy.
You're welcome.
Fire fast. Fire chief discussion.
There's a copy there in front of you. With some high points on upcoming repairs or purchases. Engine 1, gonna need some tires. Probably need some spring work. And also another some change.
Okay, and engine 1, we're keeping engine 1 and so on and so forth for the next.
Well, you see further on down the line, do we keep it? Do we refurbish it?
Okay.
Do we, and that hasn't,
So that would be 2025 would be when that was paid off. Let's see, W1 is paid off. And then
basically,
need to figure out what the plan is.
with the tanker being paid off, sliding into another batch of lease and negotiations and all, a lot of that paperwork gets eliminated. You just sort of slide into the next slot, so to speak,
Okay.
if a decision gets made by then.
Okay. So I guess that'll stay, it'll be something to talk about in the future, of what the plan will be for the engine and so on and so forth and so on. But for the time being, tires, springs and chains, okay?
And springs, I guess McLeod's is the primary vendor.
Yep,
Is there anybody else out there that needs
Not
things out
really.
there, or
that's it.
see what McLeod's can do for it?
Yep, I would.
And then, we started getting some pricing and stuff for, 4-inch hose. And I'm hoping to get 1,000 feet of that.
Okay,
Some of the older portables are seeing their age, so that's gonna be investigated.
okay. So that, yeah, so that's fine, some estimates on that stuff. I see you got roofing is not secured. I thought it was secured.
The main building has got a number of sheets that
Oh, you're meaning roofing, the roofing itself on the fire station?
Fire station itself. Some
Okay.
of the fasteners are out of the tin about this far, if you really look at it,
Which,
hard and
there's a
close.
whole nother discussion, because I thought that we were supposed to do some kind of a project to make that room, whatever, the furnace room, so on, and fix the roofing all as a project for a real project. That was tried to get done, but it didn't get bidded right and all that, and so on and so forth, so we were gonna try again in the spring. We were just, securing the furnace room up for the winter, correct? So that it wouldn't fall in or collapse. And so, I guess what we would wanna be doing is, the fire department is putting something together for like a bid, which we did put out a bid, but we didn't get any nobody, responded on it, so, maybe we need to take a look at that bid and review it and make sure that all this stuff, the roofing would get covered, right?
I think one of the, main reasons we didn't get a lot of response on that was we had a timetable on that bid. We're trying to get it done
Super
before the
fast.
winter, yeah,
Right.
so.
So hopefully we could, but we have more time now,
Yes,
so that we
yep.
put together, make sure we get everything covered correctly and done right, so that there's no time frame as far as
Yeah.
making sure it's done right and everything is covered during that
Time.
time.
Yep, yep.
So fire department will put that together.
So, well, do you guys know your station? Do you know what needs to be done and what concerns there are? I don't, so I'm.
The main roof, as I say, I talked about the fastening,
Yep.
that's got some issues. The furnace room is in the process of a Band-Aid gonna be put on.
Right, but what I'm saying is, can we make a project for spring that covers fastening, to securing the roof good,
We'll put it together.
and make, so we can get that done? A bid out or whatever?
Get the station roof and then the furnace roof fixed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The other item there is, I guess Todd talked to his basketball people, but then, parties or gatherings or whichever, there's still an awful lot of congestion in front of the door, so I don't know if you want to think about lines.
well, we have a whole project going on, when this spring, the parking lot's gonna get all ripped up and torn apart and redone, and then in that project, wasn't there, if I am correct, isn't there gonna be some kind of lines painted
Yeah,
and
so
stuff?
he's gonna,
Right.
all the
Done.
parking lot's gonna be all lined, and I know that there was, I think,
Like safety, whatever,
Yes.
fire department lanes or something.
All down the side,
Yeah.
there's additional out back.
So we're trying to kinda get to that point, I guess for the time being,
yeah,
if need be, we have cones at the town garage or whatever, and we need to cones so that people stay out away from that cone-wise for the fire department for the time being, would be my suggestion, what do you guys think?
You're talking about
The
now?
fire department, yeah, if there's people parking in front of the fire station for the basketball
I
games,
would
just to put some cones.
It's mostly practice, it's usually like the 10 minutes before the end of practice and the 10 minutes after practice is the
I
most
think the
congested.
basketball, well, that group is pretty well taken care of. This is
parties.
parties,
Yeah, and I tell them for
gatherings.
parties, but they can't park in front of
Yeah,
the doors.
I think the short-term solution is cones, probably, something that we can put out there. I don't know if the road,
Even if you had a cone with a stick and a little sign that says fire zone or something, at least
or,
we're doing
I mean,
something.
I think the other thing would be just an idea, if the road crew had like an extra Jersey barrier or like a temporary Jersey barrier that they could put,
Sawhorse.
something they could put out that could block off no parking beyond this point, because the other part of that too is right, not just people blocking the fire station, but firefighters need a place to park if they pull in for it, and not hey, I gotta look around and find a place to park, and then, you know, it should be a pretty immediate position, right?
Yeah.
So maybe something like that, a sawhorse that's partway down, that kind of
Can be
lays out.
moved if it snows,
Right.
that's why I was thinking
Right.
cones and
Yeah,
things
snow-
can be moved.
I didn't
so
like
we
that,
can
yeah.
plow,
No, that makes
still
sense.
plow, so maybe we can talk with Harold and see if.
So, and I think the other thing too, I mean, and there's,
Fire department should be.
Okay. So we'll talk with the fire department and they can, just,
obviously, there's still a lot to be done with the project, and we gotta
Right.
get that project, but there is,
for the mean,
right, there's opportunities as we get to the point where we're actually talking about line parking spaces and all of that, if there's specific spots that need to be indicated for fire department parking only, and we can put a sign up that says,
Yeah. I
You know,
think,
fire
as I
department
recall,
parking.
there was four designated fire spots. I do, as I recall, there was one that
Right.
was for the fire chief. So,
yeah,
That was the original plan.
was that,
yeah.
Emergency zone or
yeah,
That was the
Right.
original plans when it was a little different, I think now, I don't remember.
Yeah.
well, we don't have to get into it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's, yeah.
Okay, so you guys can do some
Yep.
homes or whatever to try to keep people where they belong.
Right.
And the last engine one, we quickly discussed that, and then on to R1. The fast squad is having some moans and groans because some people don't like driving a big truck, so they're looking possibly into an SUV or something like that. And R1 will still, I think, be part of the fleet, but relegated not as a first response vehicle unless it is needed for heavy rescue, water rescue, or some of those other.
Okay, so the only question I would have with that is you wouldn't have room in the fire
I
station.
think we can squeeze it,
Okay,
just won't be able to jig and jog between vehicles, it's gonna be tight.
okay. Okay, I guess keep us up to date.
And
What I'd say too, just, sorry, gonna back up a little bit, I'm just looking at the list, since I didn't hear it the first time, but, I think we should also look at like NVDA or VLCT for potential loans, not loans, grants that can help with the fire department too. Just when I was browsing their website not too long ago, there are opportunities for, for financial assistance with some of that too. Just an option. I know we've got reserve funds and we've got the budget to work with, but just things to think about is if we're doing larger projects that are, improving the fire department, the actual, fire station. So just some thoughts.
is this the type of report you're looking for, or
So,
you want more detail?
No,
or-
I don't, no, brief is generally, so, usually I ask each department, they usually send an email, just an update, just like what's going on, if, we had a big fire and a truck's down and whatever, it doesn't have to be, you know what I mean, it doesn't have to be.
This is definitely helpful though, I think, Tristan's right, especially, looking at what you're thinking about with this
Yeah,
kind of
that's
stuff
good.
is good information. If there's other, I would say pertinent information for the town, if you've got, if you're, it doesn't hurt to put plugs in for hiring, looking for more firefighters and, if you've got somebody in training, those kind of things, so.
On the list, there is a heavy duty recruiting event going to be taking place in February.
Okay,
Hopefully we get some hundred people interested.
We're looking to do it on a Tuesday, 5 to 8. We've got probably pretty close to 20-25 names of people that we're gonna get a personal invitation to and kind of do an open house and training and a little bit of training going on and an open house and
Okay,
try to work on that.
okay, good.
Another heavy-duty training project is in the works. We send folks off to level 1, level 2. Tragically, they don't get exposed to a fire pump. So we're gonna be doing quite a bit of pump education,
Okay.
water supply education, and, using large diameter hose, just to give you a quick summation of some of the different things. And
Okay.
that's gonna be a work in progress as we go into the spring here. The other thing that's happening, if I can get face-to-face with you possibly on the first Wednesday of the month, the latter Wednesday of the month, I've got mutual aid meetings I gotta be at. And, we've been very fortunate. I'm a vice president with Capital and a director with Twin State. So my presence needs to be there.
Yeah, and to be quite honest with you, Wayne, we usually like the departments just send us a quick email once a month and update us, and it's simple and whatever. If we do have stuff and we require, we'll call you in and say, hey, can you attend this meeting? We're confused on what's going on and we need some explanation.
But we're not gonna turn anybody away who wants to come to the first meeting of the month. So, if it doesn't hurt, again, I think minimum requirement definitely is if you can't make it, just, let us, kinda give us a report out on email and let us know it's coming, but, if you're able to make it to the first meeting of the month, sure, come down and, we'll just make sure that, obviously, we kinda keep, every department on the standard agenda, so.
A number of these items are on.
Right. Yep. Right.
And,
So definitely good though that we know what's going on because, again, come November when we look at the budget for the next year, if there's things that are on this list that we need to budget for, we need to start thinking about, it's good to understand what those are, and what their timetables are. And so, but again, if you're able to make it the first meeting of the month, and I know you got other stuff, then hey, that's great.
Thanks, Wayne.
Chief, we also, town got a email from Devin Healy, the wildland fire specialist, regarding the forest fire warden position being open. So, they're looking for a recommendation from the department. I'd say the select board is also looking for a recommendation from the department, so just so you know, that's out there also. They're looking for a forest fire warden, so,
which degree do you want?
yeah, we just need a recommendation, you've done it before, so.
Yeah, we've gotta pass along the recommendation of the Commissioner of Forests and Parks, and then they've gotta meet with the new warden candidate, and if Devin Healy here is satisfied, then, they'll approve the appointment and go from there.
Is there a timetable on that, or certain dates they need things by?
There was no dates, no.
I'm assuming that it's one of those as soon as possible
Yeah.
things, cause they wanna make sure it's.
I mean, you know darn well, Henry, if it was a dry April, it would be much more important.
Give it a few more days.
Yeah, it might,
It's around January.
yeah, so, so.
Okay,
Anything else?
that's it. Thank you. Constable, anything? He did get his time sheets, Mark. I talked to him, you guys talked to him.
Yeah, I haven't seen them since.
Okay. All right, library, any updates on library?
Still there?
Still
It's
there,
good.
she's back, it's open.
Okay, good.
Everything seems to be good.
Zoning, how about Dan? We haven't seen Dan. What's up with
That's my-
Dan?
That's my update, so today,
Oh,
my little purple,
okay.
it might cover health officer too. So this does health officer, but the trash complaint, he
Yep.
went and talked to them, and they have 7 days to get the people living in the house with the trash, to take care of the trash. He said it was probably this high and 70 feet long of trash bags.
Where was this?
Am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't it be?
Say the address.
It's on Welton Road,
Yes, it's on Welton Road.
which is
So-
the same people we've had,
Well,
the
the
same
owner-
house.
The other the owner of the other house is actually responsible, so that's who Dan talked to, so she is supposed to work with the people at the house to get that taken care of in 7 days, and he.
They actually have a dumpster at the other house.
Yeah, well, he predicts it may not happen in 7 days, and he'll have to issue a citation. The other part he talked about was Rural Edge, down the apartment above the library with the mold. They painted over it, thought that was gonna fix it, it's back. So now they're gonna have somebody drill a hole and see how deep the mold is, and go from there. The roof, was Dan trying to get hold of the fire
It's almost
marshal.
done?
No, the roof is still an issue, has not been tackled, no date to tackle it. So Dan is staying on that with the
Good.
fire marshal and Rural Edge. He's just
Good,
had
good.
trouble getting hold of a fire marshal.
The roof's like falling off the building.
So the only thing out of those issues was also the septic, but that is the one thing that did
They
get
did
fixed.
get fixed. So I see the green lights on, so that's
Yeah.
good.
The other, just little thing was a person who bought an apartment building, I guess you'd call it, is not up to spec and not anywhere near up to spec, and Dan had a conversation with her to help explain what would need to be done. So, anyway, he's out and about and taking care of
Good.
these things, so that was a good update from him.
Thank you,
And
Dan.
that was it.
Thank you.
Okay, maintenance?
Aiken Plumbing, I think the invoice is in the folder and it describes all the issues, so.
Okay.
See it in there, but maybe I didn't look.
I thought it was, but,
Which at some point, we're in the near future gonna need a new furnace.
yeah, two,
Two new
like,
furnaces.
two tanks.
Two boiler things.
Two,
in
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like, how, do we know, like, next year, should we plan on this, like,
I wouldn't think next
I don't know,
year.
I don't know.
I wouldn't,
okay,
yeah.
Should be first, Aiken should be right first, but,
It's not on this list, so.
so underneath, maybe?
Maybe. That's payroll. Oh, right there.
It's on that one.
So that-
So that's all I have, is just for you guys to review what, Aiken Plumbing
okay,
meeting found.
alright, cool, thank you.
I did have someone report to me that that light, I know we've talked about this, the light right here by where we park does go on and off.
Yes,
They were sitting out here for basketball practice with their child inside.
it just doesn't come on when it gets
And he
dark.
said it's time he was
And I-
sitting, it went off, came back
The
on.
pole right by
Right
my car. All right, well, I have it on my to-do list
I
to
think
call that person
it does
again.
come on, I don't know
Well,
why.
remember we had that question that time, we went out and then it was
Yeah.
on, then it's off, so I think it's
And I
just random.
think Tim, I saw Tim today, and I think Tim was working in Groton and he came and hopefully messed with the town, the park lights.
Oh,
Cause I've seen him twice now, and I'm like, the lights still aren't fixed.
I forget what we were having him do, what,
no, I have one all
No,
night.
not on all
what time
night.
were they shutting off?
9 o'clock. Which is good
I just
for the
couldn't remember.
winter time.
Fan in a can.
At some
New
point,
wire for
maybe,
both
I said, can you
boilers.
make it simpler so
Well,
maybe
yeah,
we
it's
can
good.
just open something and change the time? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
really,
Or
we can't
somebody
just
on
have
board.
it so
Call
we
him.
can set it.
Number 2.
I don't know, maybe in the near future, we can get something to happen for
And
that.
was he gonna look at this light?
Yeah, but I
I have a whole list.
I haven't, yeah,
That
Tim
one's
is so busy, but I'll be seeing Tim in the near future, so
Okay.
I'll be sure to get on him.
Okay,
And actually, why don't you send him an email? Can you send him an
yeah,
email
I can. I
again?
have,
Okay,
okay.
but just
I
do it
will.
again.
Okay,
Oh, that,
And then-
you did that
Tristan.
work. Okay.
I
Put,
do,
put per me,
yes, I will.
okay, alright. Cause I'll give, he's gonna be doing the
Do
electrical
another
work on my
page
mother's
of
new house, so I can use that as,
Oh,
well, maybe we'll think about a new, somebody else to do the rest of the, you know.
He'll be like, okay.
Yeah, mom would kill me. So anyways, IT, anything on IT?
it is a note, an email from Gary, you all got the email, so it's just saying what Dorothy said, and that he's been finishing up the library, and so.
Good.
He is gonna work on our computers, but I've actually asked him to hold off, we have the town report end of year, I can't not have a computer.
Your stuff all messed up?
Yeah, so,
Okay, no, perfect. Anything from planning commission?
I think they took the holiday, you know, the December off, so I think they have a meeting. I can't remember the date, but it's this month. They'll
Okay,
get back onto their schedule.
okay, good.
They usually meet on Tuesdays, don't
I think.
Ongoing grant updates, do we have anything? What about any of our infrastructure projects, NEK, CUD, VORC, Community Center grant, EV charging station, energy grant, knotweed something, and I don't know, which is.
I haven't heard from anybody.
I have to, but we probably need to start, if we're gonna put this
I
out to
know.
bid,
I'll email Nate.
maybe email Nate, yeah, see, because we need to get that bid going like now and get it out.
Just thinking.
February, yeah, February's a good month.
It'd be
February.
nice if we knew by next meeting to be able to get that out. We can put
Yeah,
that-
March even is
If we could
fine.
know by like the first meeting in March,
Yeah, I'll email him.
we wanna put it out the bid for the month of February.
Waiting on Mill Street.
I don't know that he heard back on that archaeologically, but,
I think that's done.
Yeah,
oh, is it
that's
done?
done.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's the
that is
easement,
done.
Yeah, it's just Mill Street, I think.
right.
Yeah, the easements.
The
Yeah,
easement
so we need to
for
check in with him and
Fairpoint.
get him
Did you-
going on this.
Did Mike Nemes get
Yeah,
that contact?
yeah, and there's been
That-
correspondence of, yes, I got it, I'm the person.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all wonderful, but then.
Now we just
yeah,
need the paperwork
Yeah,
signed off
yeah.
on.
Okay,
I don't think that would hold us back from putting out the bid, it would just hold us back from breaking ground, but,
I'll do it tomorrow.
okay, cool, thank you.
thank you.
So, nothing else under those, the rest of that stuff?
The VORC, I think I said to someone that they went to the next bidder on the one.
Yes, correct.
So the one bidder was hoping to get all three, and that's why it was so low.
Yeah.
So he backed out. So they picked the next bidder, which was only $600 more. And I haven't heard, he was gonna reach out to him that day, so I'm assuming
Okay,
it was okay.
okay,
So
All right.
wants to know about that.
that's good.
Haven't heard from any of the other ones. So maybe
Which is
now-
good, we just got through their holiday stuff and
Yeah.
whatever, so,
You wouldn't expect.
Right.
so that's good. A little break is okay. Open to the public and other business, do we have anything from
I
anybody?
have one thing, maybe two. Just wanna remind everyone, March 5th is town meeting, we know, but it's also the presidential primary. So this is the election that you will have to say, I want the Republican ballot, the Democratic ballot, or I guess if there's a third one. That's not the town's rule, it's not the state's rule, it's national.
Federal, national,
National, they said, I know.
yeah.
I was thinking federal. So that's just part of the way it goes. They wanna know what party people are voting. It's also public information. But I know some people come in and they get all upset about that. There's nothing we can do. You either don't vote, or you have to tell us which ballot, and you get handed that one ballot.
How do absentee ballots work for that?
They'll have to put in there what one. I
Like,
went
They
in,
have to request that,
yeah, I
by
went into
party.
my voter page. Everyone can go to their voter page, mvpvermont.gov, I believe it is. And so I went and tried it today to see, and you go right through and you pick the election, and it shows all the upcoming elections, and under this one, it's a little tab down, and it says Republican, Democrat.
Okay.
That's the one you'd click, and then that's the one
So
and those are being sent from us. Remember, the state is only doing November. So if you want an absentee ballot, you need to either go to that page or contact me. And you have to say
So we're
what
only
one.
gonna hand them one ballot?
Correct,
Right.
Democrat, Republican.
Wow.
It's August where they get all three. That's
Okay.
different. The August primary, you get it, you go vote one, unvoted goes, voted
That's
goes.
for,
State.
that's the state primary, the federal, the national primary is now.
They're gonna have to tell me what they want, I'm
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
gonna give them one.
Yes. And if they don't wanna tell you, then they don't vote, cause you
Okay.
can't give them two ballots.
And that's a. is
And
that
it
a
doesn't
change
mean,
from
and the other
before?
thing too is people get, so say I went and I said, I would like the Republican ballot, and I vote in March on the Republican ballot. That doesn't mean in November, I can still vote on the Democratic one if I want. It doesn't matter. This is not,
No, you're not locked in for all primaries.
Right,
It's
all
just
life.
that
What's
one.
gonna be on that ballot? The national primary?
it's gonna be everyone, every Republican running for president, Every Democrat running for president,
So it's only gonna be national
just gonna be president.
president, okay. All right.
Okay,
President, vice president.
I have one thing too. Do you have another thing?
No, go ahead.
So I had somebody call and ask me about a liquor license. So if per se,
All through the state.
yeah, so you don't, but we approve after the state. So they go to the state,
They go through an online portal in this town.
okay, and then I'm assuming they have to come get inspected and so on and so forth.
I don't
Okay.
know any of that.
So it's just all through the state.
They
Is
do
it-
all their stuff going through the state.
It's not that complicated though.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And once,
Is it a permanent or is it a temporary?
Well, I don't know, it was about the sale of a building and if they turned it into a whatever, and so it was
yeah,
kinda
So that would
like,
be-
yeah, once
So-
it's just a regular thing
what
like,
a select board, how to, whatever, cause they
Yeah.
were making it a big thing, like it's this big deal,
Well,
I'm
what I
like,
would say is
well,
if
we
it-
wouldn't have a problem
It
with it.
depends on if, well, they're not
But
the
it's
liquor
the state.
side of it, it's the zoning piece is part of it, there's all those pieces, but yeah, when it comes to
Right.
liquor license, it all goes to the state, we can still deny it
yeah.
or approve it, but it's more of a review at this point
Right.
than.
And it's more of like, is everything done right? And then you approve it. We can't just say, oh, I don't like beer, I'm not approving it. You know, you kinda, still has to be
Yeah, and for the most part, I mean,
If they pass everything,
we
it
want
really
people to
shouldn't-
come and enjoy
Yeah.
town and whatever, so I mean, it's not like we're gonna be against
Right.
any of that, so, okay, that's all
And
I-
really, you should look at it as if everything's filled out properly and inspected, and who are we to say you can't?
Right.
Unless we specifically have ordinances.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, that was mine. Anybody else?
So, just correspondence, it was here, was the, Woodsville Wells River Fourth of July Committee requesting, $200 from the town to support the event. Do we do that every year?
We don't ever, since I've been here, I don't think we've given money to it, but it's to you, up to you.
Just making sure people knew that we got that correspondence.
I'm not, yeah, I'm not.
I mean, it could be added like an appropriation.
Why don't we support it? All the other towns support it.
All the other
They
towns?
do?
Well,
Does anybody support us for fall foliage and our stuff?
we all.
And there was a time where they wouldn't even come into Vermont. No matter, even though Newberry and Wells River and Rygate sent them money, they said this parade cannot enter the state of Vermont
Because the signs weren't up.
because the signs weren't up. So,
I'm just saying, we have fall foliage as.
I mean, I think they're
does
asking for
anybody support
$200.
us?
I don't,
It could be added to a line in the budget appropriation, like
I
umbrella
don't
or
think
anybody
they need
else.
$200 from the town of Groton, but that's
I
my
would say-
personal
I
opinion.
would say if they do, there are local businesses that have collection cans that, if anybody wants to contribute.
That's not a Groton event.
No, it's not.
That's,
Okay. I
Okay.
just figured it's correspondence.
yeah, no.
We should address it.
One thing I was gonna touch on was, after looking at the budget and the fund balance talk, I just wanted to make a little more clear. So the increase in the budget, which we're offsetting with the fund balance,
Correct,
brings us to the level of the budget last year.
correct,
But then don't forget, at that level last year, then we used fund balance.
right. So there's still an increase.
So there still will be,
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, do we know what that increase is? Percentage wise?
well, 4 cents, I
Yeah, I
think.
was gonna say, I can't remember.
I think when I ran it, of course, this is on last year's grand list, all, not totally accurate figures. It went up 0.04.
Okay, so, yeah, that's, okay. That's like,
I
very
think
low.
the high was 0.02.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I just wanna clarify that, so if anyone thought like there was gonna be.
Right.
totally no-
That's the only thing what I'll say is, it's,
Still,
that's not the part of the budget that people, that's not the part of property taxes people need to be worried about right now. It's the, you gotta look at the state, they just, Montpelier just came back and legislature's in session and they're still looking at an 18% increase in property taxes. And it just, I was listening to NPR at lunch today, and it was, there's so much of that stuff. It's like, you know, they're talking about part of the reason why is because so many people are using income-based property tax payments, and it's like, you know, looking at it and going, this is just
did see an
so
article,
much.
I can't remember now where I saw it, and it said, and I can't remember if it was just OESU or just BMU but somehow that wasn't gonna affect us. I know that sounds too good to be true.
Right.
But I did read a thing
and
that
I
because
would
of
say,
some
you
certain
know,
things happening, the way that is being figured throughout the whole state,
Yeah.
we will be a school or supervisory union who doesn't get hit at that high one.
Oh, and I mean, again, it's hard to say right now because there's no budget to look at. I mean, and, you know, frankly, that's concerning to me because they've been working on their budget longer than we've been working on our budget. I mean, that's the,
I think they have a meeting tomorrow night,
right?
Their meeting tonight was canceled.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I got a new
Yeah.
one. Maybe it's not tomorrow, maybe it's next week.
Yeah.
I thought I saw the new
And
one.
again, I'm gonna try to attend the meeting maybe and see if I can find out what's going on in their budget, because it would be interesting to know and understand what's happening, because,
Again.
you know, it's important, it's definitely a concern anyway.
Majority of your tax.
Okay.
And then Zach, I gave you that big stack, I don't know if you wanna talk about that now, or,
The notice of hearing, you know, I mean, we can.
So
It's
I-
can be open to the public, I don't know.
I talked to
Yeah.
our town attorney, and she said it's perfectly fine for you to go, like, this one is really, if you see it, it says,
Just a
status something, right?
status conference.
So she said, the court's just gonna ask you, what have we been doing, which is nothing, we
Filed
did-
it.
We filed it,
Yeah.
we gave the results from the BCA, and that's
Right.
where it's at, so she said it'll be quick and easy, but I gave you a copy of everything
Yep.
from the meeting.
So,
15 minutes.
Yep. so it's in person, just so I,
Yes,
okay.
it does say you can Zoom, but
I'll be there, it doesn't matter.
If you don't, I mean, I could go if you are busy or whatever.
You
It's
can just drive truck for him that day.
just,
Yeah, for.
No, that's, the 18th, I
I would
think I
think
put
you
on the
could
calendar
Zoom,
already.
it's only 15 minutes.
Let him
I
take
know
a
it's
day
an
off
Excuse to
work.
get out of
Yeah,
Oh, okay, wait.
it's very important that he represents the town.
are they doing lunch and stuff? 'Cause
I mean, geez, yeah, hey. I mean, it is.
go down for lunch.
Yeah, 11:15.
Okay, well, thanks, Zach, for doing that.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
no,
you.
it's fine, I mean, I was part of this whole process.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
wanted to
thought,
just
it might be good.
kinda follow through
And
the
she
whole
said
way.
the next, there'll be another one after this, and that will be more in-depth. Not necessarily that we need a lawyer there, but probably someone from the assessor's office to explain their reasoning,
So when is this one?
the 18th, January.
And
No.
how soon did she think the next one was going to be?
She
Yeah.
didn't say.
Yeah.
So I think, it's good.
That just should be pretty
Okay.
straightforward then. Well,
Good.
Good.
So, and follow-up stuff and other things, like, we haven't done anything. I think when things kind of settle down, we'll get maybe working on the speed sign some more. We have some more time. What do we set agenda for next meeting? What do we, anything
It's gonna have to be
specific?
approved, the warning, that will have to get.
So we're gonna need to, should we put that up top?
Yeah.
Approve the warning, and what
Approve
else?
articles and warnings.
Yeah,
Yep.
what else do we need to cover for that?
Well, it's all town report stuff will be right in the thick of it. We have to have it, I think it's 23rd or 24th,
Right,
to the printers,
okay.
so, that's what our focus.
So Zach, you'll have yours done?
Which one?
I'm working on it, I haven't got it done. Okay, anything else?
No, I think we'll finish up the year end, we're still doing the final journal entries for the budget. I got the diesel for fire department to do, and there'll be just a few oddball, once we reconcile the bank statements to make sure everything,
And NIMRIC,
yeah.
told us it was a 4% increase from last year, so we'll figure that in.
the last figures we were waiting on. So we
Okay.
can now put those in.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I guess we'll have the final budget.
Final budget. Okay,
I've been working with Blue Cross Blue Shield about changing, Harold's status to, so it's been a little bit back and forth,
okay,
but we're getting it done, I hope.
okay, good.
That's it, I think.
All right, I need a motion.
Motion to adjourn. I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Good meeting, if we